Hi, friends. Wish you a very happy International Women's Day. Usually, for Women's Day, they take interviews from entrepreneur women, celebrities, CEOs of big companies. But I want to talk about my favorite group of women, the forgotten workers, homemakers. Before that, just a brief background of me for those who don't know me well. I'm from Jaffna, Sri Lanka. From 6th grade to 11th grade, I studied at Vermont Girls High School. Before that, St. John Bosco. In 11th grade, I left Jaffna because of the war. I left as a refugee to India. I finished my plus one, plus two at Bain School. And then I went on to do my bachelor's degree. I did chemical engineering, Bachelor of Technology in Chemical Engineering from IIT Madras. Met my husband there. He was my senior. He's also from Jaffna. We got married, went to Singapore. I did my master's in management of technology there, and I worked as a process and equipment engineer and also a quality engineer in a high-tech company. Then we moved to US, and I had my two sons here in America. So after that, for nearly 3 years, I really couldn't go back to work. After that, I have changed my roles at work. So I have worked full time, I have worked part time, I have worked in retail, banking. I really couldn't go back to high tech because I didn't think I could commit to a 9 to nearly 12 hours a day. High tech was very demanding, so I couldn't spend so much time when my kids were little. I didn't have a lot of help in America. So I worked in different industries based on my kids' needs, their age, their extracurricular activities they needed, and stuff like that. So I have a little bit of taste of being a full-time working mom, part-time, and even a homemaker, all of that. So I can sort of relate to when women talk about all of these issues. So right now, I am a new empty nester. Both my sons are in college. After my younger son went to college, I started connecting in social media. Before that, I really didn't connect much. Hardly. I was busy raising kids and working and juggling all these things like a lot of women do. So after my kid went to college, it was also around the pandemic time. So a lot of my friends asked me to join different groups in social media, and that's how I reconnected back with my old 91 batch friends, and also I made lots of new connections. I'm really grateful for all that connections I got. I feel blessed because of all these new connections and new friends and even connecting with old friends. I talk quite a bit with female friends, either over the phone or when we meet in social groups. So this is the main topic that women talk, especially our age, middle-aged women, because most of them are becoming empty nesters. So when their kids leave to college, or even if they stay at home, they're all adult kids, so they don't need as much attention as they used to. So a lot of women are thinking and reflecting, and they are questioning their decision and a lot of that stuff. So I want to just talk about that. So when the in South Asian culture in Sri Lanka or India, when we were raised, there is social conditioning by the society. So there is this set of expectations from men, and there is this different set of expectations from women. That's how our brain is programmed to think. So when a girl, say in Jaffna, because of the war, a lot of girls had to leave the country halfway through. They couldn't finish their university. If they didn't get into a university, the immediate alternate option would be marriage. Because in our culture, especially those days, parents think daughters as liability. They think it's a huge responsibility until they get them married. So the woman really didn't have much opportunity to continue with their education or establish a career before they got married like men. Men get married a little later because of the age difference, right? Usually there is an age gap between the bride and the groom. So what happens also, there is another culture in South Asian communities when a girl and a boy get married. I'm talking about those days. Now I know things are different now. Good for the girls. So those days, when a girl and a boy get married, the girl usually had to follow the husband to wherever he was. So because of the war, a lot of the Sri Lankan men were displaced. Boys were displaced, so they would usually come from like Canada or Mauritius or Fiji or wherever the girl has to get married, and the girl gets married, and then she would follow the groom. So the boy would have already established a career in that country because he came from there, and he's also older. So when the girl joined him, and then when they have kids, it financially it makes sense for the girl to watch the kids because someone has to watch the kids. So it's either the mom or the dad. So for the girl, for the family, it makes sense financially for the girl to stay back because the husband usually made more money than girl because he was established. Also because of the social conditioning, I said, the girls, the men or women, they programmed to think that the woman has to stay back at home and be a homemaker and look after the kid. So that's also another reason why the woman stayed back, because they think that was their duty. They are expected to make that sacrifice. So it's not it's not like she's forced into this, or she doesn't have a potential, or she's not smart enough to work, or she's lazy, that's why she's not going to work. It's not any of those. She consciously makes that decision, mindfully and consciously she makes that decision because that's the best thing for the family, her kids, her husband, and of course herself too, because her success, usually women tend to relate their success to the family success, right? So that's why she's making that decision. Now there are a lot of myths in society, right? Women, for example, women are not good in math or in technology. Women are not good drivers. So there is also a myth that home workers don't have dreams or goals. But that's not true. The homemakers, those women, they adopt their kids and husbands' goals and dreams as their own. So it's such a noble thing to do. It's like a candle, and I know it's a cliche. A lot of people use that, but I really can't think of any other example. That their dreams and goals become her dreams and goals. And also when the husband continues to progress in his career, when usually during middle age, most of the men are in management, right? So much of credit is given to the husband, so much of respect. But the women, homemakers, who made it possible for the men, who facilitated that, they don't get the acknowledgement they deserve. They are more like stepping stones, or rather they just lift everyone up, and then sort of she's left behind. Nobody really goes out of the way to acknowledge such women. I'm talking in general sense. I'm sure there are exceptions. So generally from what I hear talking with many of my friends, right? So I'm just talking on behalf of them, and this is what I feel. So she doesn't always get that acknowledgement for the husband's success. So that's why I wanted to really talk about homemakers today and appreciate and acknowledge and applaud them for all the sacrifices they have made. It's really incredible. Because some women are lucky, they have their moms or mother-in-laws or grandparents basically to watch their kids when the kids were babies or toddlers or younger, right? So they could go to work with peace of mind. Okay, they are in safe hands, well taken care of. Some women are not that fortunate. They didn't have that option, because when you go to different countries, your parents most likely may not be there because of the war. Lots of people got displaced. Some women they feel comfortable leaving their kids with a nanny or a stranger, and some women don't feel comfortable, and that's okay. People are different, right? So some women don't feel comfortable. So that's the reason, one of the reasons also why they choose to stay at home. So this is all the homemakers issues, right? Now, if you take the working woman, it's not easy for them as well, because right now things have changed a lot. Women are getting a lot of recognition, a lot of support at work environment, workplaces, because of the awareness. So many movements, Me Too movements, and so many feminist groups. There is a lot of awareness now, so it's easy for women to get a good job, or even career progress, and all that is so different now. But those days when it's different, so they have so many obstacles at work, and sometimes they take a step back. They really reject so many opportunities that they could have taken, because they had to take care of the kids at home. And even the women who were lucky enough to have somebody watch their kids, right now at this age, because we are all becoming empty nesters, so a lot of women are having more time, whether they were homemakers or they are established career women. They have a lot of time now to think and reflect, pause, think and reflect. So this is the feedback from my friends who work, that they sort of miss out on spending that quality time with their kids, because when both parents work the whole of weekdays, you really can't do any extracurricular activities for the kids, right? So everything gets pushed to weekends. So weekends also get busy with cooking and cleaning and kids activities. So it's like a marathon, Monday through Sunday. So sometimes the families may not have had the opportunity to sit and have a quiet quality time interacting with each other, or going out or vacation or that kind of stuff. So some of the women friends even mentioned to me that when the kids get go into high school, they change to part-time job, or they even quit their career because they want to spend more time with their kids. So they also are having some kind of they're also not 100% happy. So basically, and for some women, if you're in healthcare, for example, they don't have an option of taking a break because they lose their license. So they somehow have to keep things going, and secure their career. So they cannot really take a break. So listening to all of these conversations, I also do a lot of reflection, because as I said, I'm a new empty nester. I have a time too. So I feel like it's really a no-win situation for women, whichever path you take, whether it is a homemaker or an established career woman, or part-time or full-time, or whatever decisions the woman make. At the end of the day, they still feel kind of guilty this way or that way, right? So this is my take on International Women's Day. Whatever decision women make, they don't isolate themselves and make a decision that's best for her or them. Women usually think as a whole package, the family, what's best for the whole family, or sometimes even extended family. So my request to all my women friends is, be super proud of whatever decision that you made, because I am positive that you did the right decision. You took the right decision for your family, given the circumstances, your financial situation, the kids' needs, and your extended family needs, all of that put together. You made the best decision possible for your family. So be super proud of the decision you made. Let's support each other, let's empower each other, let's look out for each other, and let's rock together. Happy International Women's Day again.